Okay, mate. Yeah, what I mean. Let's have a look here. Poly X getting very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at it. Let's see what I mean. um, let's just try and zoom out. Well, you can see that this was the breakout point, right? This the main breakout point. Somewhere down in that area was a real main breakout point, and this has had a real breakout, and now we're getting that real pullback. It's a pretty deep pullback, but it's retracing most of this. So usually when you get a big breakout like that, and dips back into the bottom end of the bar are usually very good. You know, somewhere down there is usually a very good buy for a longer term, because any bounce and retrace back up is going to leave you in profit. This is also, if I just take this down a little bit, you know, there seems to be, well, in this area down here, there seems to be support down in there, resistance. Now, when you break out of resistance, it usually becomes support on the drop back down. So it's kind of dropping into a potential support area. So let's what's that? That's a 3 month. Let's just break it down. We'll go monthly. We'll break it down bit by bit. This is not a good monthly. It's not great. They can put in the lows though. These can put in lows, candles like this. But there's only 2 days left, so there's no need to panic into this. Let this do its thing from the looks of it, and you know, it's. I would say if there's any sort of bullish stop hunt down here, that could be a really fantastic buy. Any pierce below here is getting really interesting, really nice. Actually, look at this. Look what happened here. We had this similar candle, almost identical candle right there. We had the large green candle back up, and you had consolidation, and you had one of these candles right down. What happened on a new quarter? Sorry, not a new quarter, a new monthly. Well, it opened up green and we bounced right back up. So that's what I mean. We're see this big green bar? Where did we come down to? Down to the bottom end of the range, right? If I move the support out of the way, here's your big green candle. Right? Where did it come down to? Well, let's draw the other one first, actually. Where did this come down to? Here, right? You can see it. It came down to the bottom edge of the bar, bottom 30% of the bar, for example. Now we could try and look to see if there's any support there. See here, see these candles here. There was a bit of support. Now we can do something similar. We can start to look here. Now it's not into it yet, but it's almost into. See these candles support here. They were resistance in the past, and it broke out, and resistance became support. We have something similar here. So support is just here. In theory, it could be just in here somewhere. So it's getting into a very nice place. That's why I'm saying if we get a stop hunt on a new quarter, or which is also a new month. I just nearly tossed my keyboard there. If a stop hunt on this, it could look very good. This didn't give a stop hunt. This was kind of harder to trade because you might be waiting for the stop hunt and it never happened. But it did fill. Look at this. This is important, actually. Let's look at this. So you can see that what happened was very important. It filled the candle. It dropped and filled 30 to 50% of the wick, and then it popped up and flipped green again. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that we do need to be on guard in case we get something similar, right? It's always possible. It may not stop hunt. It may just come down, fill 30 or 50% of it, and then start moving back up. So it's worth watching because we're into a big level. Okay, so that's kind of what I mean. In really bearish markets, right? Sometimes what happens is you continue to drop right down to here, right down to this level here. But if it's not such a bearish market, these levels can hold, right? In here can hold. Right? So, you know, we don't know if it's going to be super bearish on a new quarter. That's what we need to watch out for, and that's what you need to look for. And it dips into this wick. If it dips into this wick and attempts to flip up and flip green, you can even attempt to buy down here, right, with a very tight stop. Oh, I didn't draw that properly. You can even attempt to buy down here with a very tight stop. But look for a pivot, look for a move down, and as it starts to try and gain some strength, well, you can get on board with a very tight stop. Right? You could do that. That's one option, but you got to keep it a tight stop because if the level breaks, it could continue to drop. The other safer option probably is to wait until it flips green. So let it dip down, If it pops up and starts to flip green, you can buy it with a stop below this low. It's a slightly wider stop, but there's that security there that it's starting to flip green. And if you can see it, like here, if you can see it holding green, well, then you can stay in the trade and see where it goes. When it moves up in your favor and you're happy or comfortable, then you can move your stop up to break even, and then you're on a win-win trade. So I think it's worth watching on a new quarter, and that's what I'm saying about here. This is a very interesting dip.